My older sister Sarah is 5 years older than me, and the story also happened 5 years ago. Before Sarah was dating her current boyfriend, she was on Tinder to meet a few guys. I remember the night specifically. She told me and our other sister Emily that she was meeting a guy at a bar a few blocks down. When she got there, she sat at the bar and texted the guy to let him know where she was sitting. Under a minute passes, and a man sits next to her, offering to buy her a drink. This man is significantly older than my sister and, according to her, gave off a horrible smell, had bad breath, and a crooked front tooth. She told him no thank you right away as she had a guy coming to meet her. The man didn't get up just yet, he kept sitting there, said he'd buy her a drink in the meantime, before her date got there. Sarah felt very uncomfortable and asked the man to please leave her alone. The man got up from the bar stool. Sarah did a quick glance to see where the man had gone, and she said he sat at one of the nearby table booths. Sarah texted her date about what just happened and asked him to please hurry. There wasn't a response, so she sits there a few minutes, texts again, "Where are you?" This time, the guy responds, "Running late, get a drink or two without me." This was an odd text for a guy to send to a girl he's meeting, and to make it even worse, the man from before came back to sit next to Sarah, asking where her date was and acting all upset that she was still alone. My sister responded to the man once or twice, then had enough and asked him to please leave her alone once again. She texted her date one more time, saying sorry, she's gonna leave. As she sent it, the man's phone, which he left on the bar, vibrated. My sister immediately put two and two together, said she's going to the bathroom, and called our sister Emily, asking what to do. Emily told her to just leave and drive home. I listened in on the conversation. When Sarah left the bathroom, the man was no longer anywhere to be seen in the bar, which I'm sure she found to be a relief. She went straight to her car and started driving home. It's a very linear and short path from that bar, and she was home in probably a couple of minutes. When she pulled up in the driveway and started walking to the front door, she noticed another car pull up across the street. It didn't stop directly in front of the house, but one house over. Sarah came inside, and from here on, I can tell the story from my own point of view. Emily and I came to greet Sarah and ask her what happened. She went to the window and creased the blinds to look outside. She told us there was a car out there before and she was worried and followed her. But when all three of us looked through the blinds, we didn't see a car out there, so she told us the unsettling story of what happened at the bar. Emily did a better job at comforting her than I did, girl thing, I guess. I did tell her that if that man ever stepped foot near her again, I'd kick his ass. Later on, we all went to our rooms and did our own thing. I was playing Far Cry 4 on my computer when I heard the horrible sound of both my sisters screaming. Let me shift back to Sarah's perspective for a second. She was on her phone in bed when she got a text from that number. It said, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I didn't see your text until I got to the bar." Sarah didn't answer that, so he sent a follow-up text saying, "I'm gonna meet you at your house. Which window is yours?" Sarah called Emily to come to her room to look at the text. As they talked for a little bit figuring out what to do, Sarah's window slid open, and someone tried pushing their way through the roller shade. That was when both Emily and Sarah screamed, causing not only me but our parents from upstairs to come rushing to her room. The man trying to come in gave up before we even made it to the room. Her dad went outside to try and chase after the man, but he was already long gone in his car, probably. Of course, my dad called the cops to file a police report. Sarah gave the police the man's cell phone number, and they took records of the text conversation. They said they were going to do what they could to trace the number, though it could take a few days. My dad was contacted after the weekend by the local police station, and they asked him to come in at the station. They said they traced the number to be a fake number through some app and that there was no guarantee they could trace the user back to a specific phone. My dad asked them to do whatever they could. Weeks passed, and we never heard from the police, but we all slowly started to forget about it. You could never really understand people's motives and how they think they'll get away with some things, like climbing into a girl's window, for instance.